Okay, so I'm going to take a look at Another Brick in the Wall Part 1, Happiest Days of Our Lives, and Another Brick in the Wall Part 2, following a request from someone on YouTube, again using Helix and Variax. So, done a bit of research, and apparently the original, a lot of the sort of delayed rhythm parts were played direct into a desk. So I'm trying to mimic that using the studio preamp and whatnot. We've got it set up for around 7 or 8 snapshots or so. So the first one we'll look at is the rhythm part, sort of the delayed dotted eighth note. So I'm going to have the gate on everything on this here, with the threshold on 50 and the decay on 500. And we're going to be using the Strat on the bridge pickup. Volume and tone is going to be up at full. It's down to nothing now, so don't catch the strings. We're then going to go into LA Studio Comp. Not too much, 3.6 on the peak reduction, 5 on the gain, 7.5 on the emphasis, and mix at 100. And into the preamp, 6.5 on the gain, and 5 on the level. It's then coming down into an EQ, where we're boosting the highs, taking out a little bit of the mids, and taking out some of the low as well. Sounds quite boomy, just recorded straight the Strat on the Variax. We're then going to go into a delay, dotted eighth note, 50% feedback, 36% on the mix. Reverb, going to use a whole reverb, 4 on the decay, 30%. And I'm just using a gain block to level it all out, so we're getting the different levels. So most of the time I'm playing along to backing tracks, and I've got a big massive backing track that runs through everything from Another Brick in the Wall 1 all the way through to Another Brick in the Wall Part 2. So all the snapshots have been leveled out as best as I can for home volume. Okay, so we'll take a listen to this one. So the first thing, if I just play a single D note, you'll hear the delays. And then we'll play the actual part. Okay, so there you go. The little galloping rhythm. So the next one we'll take a look at is the sort of lead fills. Now for this, pretty much all stays the same, except I've shot the peak reduction up to 8 on it, and I've also limited it as opposed to compressed it to get as squishy a sound as I can with the LA Studio Comp. We're then going into the quarters and flange, so it's an electric Mistress flanger, but it's the deluxe model as opposed to the older one which Gilmour used, but it gets us in the ballpark. Using it on whole notes, so everything's sync set, 99 beats per minute for this song, and 95% in the mix. Again, down to the EQ, pretty much the same things going on here as last time. Delay's pretty much the same. Reverb's pretty much the same. No gain for this one. And we're using Spank 2 to get that sort of quacky Strat sort of sound on it. So, I'll take a listen to it. I'll just play some of the little fills. So, on its own with just a single D note. And then we'll play some of the fills. Okay, so there you go. So those run all the way through the song. So the next one, the bit at the very end where he does all the sort of harmony parts. Now, again, it's going to be pretty much, well, it is the same as snapshot number 2, but we're adding in a split and then going into the pitch echo to sort of get a bit of variation. A slight delay into the pitch pedal, so it doesn't sound as perfect, if you like. So for this, we're using minor thirds, so D minor, and we're going for a third. Now, there are parts in it where he mixes between a third and then he'll go to a second. So I'm going to use the expression pedal for that. You can get away with just doing it in thirds. Now, there's places where he uses an F sharp note, and that's not within the D minor scale, obviously it's an F. You can't really account for that, so you can only approximate it. You can play it using dyads. It's not particularly easy, and it doesn't sound quite the same as a harmonised version of it. Then into the delay again, all set the same, the reverb's the same, and the gain block is the same. Okay, so first we'll take a listen to a single D note. And then I'll just play some of the little bits from it. Okay, so that's that little bit. And next we'll go into Happiest Days of Our Lives. So the rhythm part, it's pretty much the same as the beginning of Another Brick in the Wall Part 1 on the Spank 1 setting. So I won't bother playing through that. The next bit is the sort of crunch sound. And now, the first time we've got an amp coming in. Again, going to use some modulation on it, 16%. Keeping it down low. A little bit of compression. Valve driver and a muff. Now, apparently when he recorded the solo for Another Brick in the Wall Part 1, he went into the desk, then into a Mesa Boogie, and then back into the desk. So I'm using a Mesa Boogie for the crunch sounds, just so I don't have to double up on amplifiers and everything else. And then we're just going into some reverb and the gain block. Again, there's nothing on the gain block, but I'm just leaving it on so I don't have to on and off it through all the different snapshots, okay? So this one's on the Strat on the bridge. So we'll take a listen to these bits. Okay, so now moving on to Another Brick in the Wall Part 2, the rhythm section. So again, it's just the clean into the studio pre-tube amp. Quite a bit of compression on this, and again we're using the Strat on Spank 1 and just a bit of reverb, 38%. Going -5 on the gain block because it's actually that high in the mix. It's doubled up on the original, but you can get away with just one guitar. So we'll take a listen to this. So there you go, that's that bit. And next, the solo. Okay, so quite a bit going on with this one. Allegedly recorded with a Les Paul Gold top with P90s, so we're going for Lester 4 in the neck position. Really heavily gated, limited, so up to 10 on the peak reduction with the limiter on. Into the preamp, then into the boogie, drive down really low at 1, master at 3.4, into some EQ, a little boost on the mids, big boost on the highs, and taking out some of the lows. And then a compressor again, this time it's compressed but 9 on the peak reduction as opposed to the limit, and some reverb. So I shall take a listen to this. So there you go, bit of a solo sound. And that's about it, really. That's my take on it. There's enough there to get you through most parts of the songs. If you like it, say so. Subscribe, please. Put something in the comment box. I will upload the patches to custom tone. Anyone got any requests, just let me know in the comments and I'll do the best I can to facilitate them for you.